trouble with narcissistic people, or even people who aren't narcissists in your life, always bringing up your past mistakes, introducing you by your past mistakes. Oh, this is so and so, and oh gosh, they were stupid and did this in college, or they were just party monsters. That's not how to treat people. But I can tell you, narcissists do it a lot. They will even passively aggressively bring up your past mistakes in front of others, or just to humiliate you in private. And that is the reason that they do it. It's for humiliation, degradation, devaluing you, which means they kind of see that you've come up. They don't allow you to evolve. You're only as important to them as how you can make them feel about themselves. And if there's anything that makes them feel badly about themselves with you, such as you have progressed and you're a success, then they're going to bring that down by reminding you who you are. Not to bring up any religion, but I'll just say you can't be a prophet in your own hometown. There's lots of truth to that, for that very reason, because people say, oh gosh, yeah, you're an attorney now, you're a rocket scientist now. Well, you were just some little kid. What a goofy kid you were. Remember when you rode your bike off the cliff and almost killed yourself? They just bring up dumb stuff you've done. It discredits you. It's kind of like an opposing attorney in a courtroom. Opposing attorney. I just said opposing. An opposing attorney is always going to go to discredit the witness. So if you've had some success or progression in your life, or you've done something well, and you share it with someone, especially a narcissist, and it's not that they're jealous of you. That's not it at all. It isn't jealousy or envy. It's far more insidious than that. It's just a desire to feel superior to everyone. You're not allowed to have success. You're not allowed to evolve. You're not allowed to get past your past. That's not what they want. So they'll do things like saying, it's amazing. You did that? You mean you just got that prize? You mean you just got published? You mean, oh my gosh, you just accomplished that, or you just got a promotion? That's wonderful. Because I remember when you couldn't even get a job. Remember that? I mean, my gosh. And golly, you didn't even make it out of college and you got that job. Wow, that's amazing for somebody like you. I know, I know in school one time, I used to play dumb. It was just easier because people perceived my personality as stupidity. And I was in the entertainment industry, which we're here for your amusement, right? So that was that I'm very much responsible for that image I was throwing out. But I used to take notes in class, or if I would get my class scores back or my tests back, I'd turn them upside down. Because to me, I studied hard, I worked hard, I earned my grades. And I really studied hard. And so one time a classmate, she saw me turn my paper down and she flipped it over. She said, you made 100, you? And I said, yeah, imagine that. And it was so insulting. And I don't even think she knew it. And she wasn't a narcissist. She just had an opinion of me, made a judgment of me, and then reduced my ability to make a 100 on a test that she didn't do as well on, and couldn't figure out how can somebody as airhead and fun loving as me, possibly a songwriter, because I was songwriting at the time and I was studying to reinvent myself, and she just didn't understand. She couldn't wrap her head around that. How could a crazy songwriter from Nashville make those kind of grades? I thought, wow. So I've remembered all these things because it's come back to visit me through other things. And I know that it's so harmful when people discredit you. I know, especially if you're on a witness stand, that is what an attorney will do. And that's why it feels so badly if somebody pays you a compliment while knocking you down. That's great, because I remember when you were a failure. That's wonderful, because I remember when you couldn't get a spouse. That's great. You're doing that because I remember when you just were so dumb, awful, stupid, whatever it is they want to apply to you. Don't take that in and don't take that on. It isn't you. You've evolved, and they're not allowing you to evolve. You have become stronger, healthier, happier. You don't have to diminish yourself to make other people happy. I used to do that a long time too. And I do. I beware with whom I share. That's bragging if you tell everybody what you've done or what you do. That's not right to do either. But on the same token, just be very, very careful that people aren't harming you with your own past. And you can say things like, I always tell what to do about it. If people do that to you, say, that's 40 years ago. That's 20 years ago. That's 30 years ago. That's 10 years ago. That's 3 days ago. It doesn't matter. Bringing up your past to harm you is always to humiliate you. I looked it up. I actually did. I Googled it. I went to Dr. Google. It is a form of manipulation. They know what they're doing. That kind of surprised me. It's not a compliment. They will say, I don't just meant to compliment you. They'll deny it, but that's not true. They're trying to humiliate you and make themselves feel better by harming you or humiliating you or bringing up the past to you. If you've gotten past your past, everybody else should be past it too. So wear it like a badge. That was a life experience. You may have had to go one place to do another. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to explain yourself. Just say, yeah, that's how you saw me from the past, or just confront it. If you need to confront it, especially if somebody does it to you over and over and over and over, which is what prompted me to be inspired about this video. So, thank you for allowing me to share. I really appreciate it. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear them about people that bring up your past. Again, they're not necessarily narcissists, but they certainly are trying to make themselves feel better by diminishing you and your accomplishments and trying to make themselves feel superior while reminding you that you were one day more inferior to them. So hopefully this will help you. And I hope it guides you to just, if you know better, do better, just be better. And if you are going to be better, expect some pushback from other people, but push back the pushback. Okay.